Hi YouTube, welcome to Pagan Perspective. This is Megan, aka Sabirsi, and today is Thursday. So, today's going to be short and sweet because in watching the previous hosts, I don't have much else to add. So this week we're talking all about the first witch. And so Aurelia would be the one that I would talk about. So she was an Italian witch, basically daughter of Diana. She's essentially a Jesus figure, and she's pretty cool. I like her a lot, so I'm a big fan. But here's the thing. Other than that, Regana, I'm sure if you've been watching this week, you saw that there's a Lithuanian myth about Regana as the first witch, but also just a Lithuanian goddess. A lot of different things for her. I was reading a little bit about her. Very focused on the divine feminine. She's not as big into divine masculinity at all. So it's really, she's an interesting goddess. I hadn't heard of her before. So here's the thing. I started to do a little Googling, and then I watched all the videos, and I realized everybody kind of talked about the things that I'd want to talk about, which would be like the first witch accused. I think the first one was in Ireland or something like that. And I think it was like Alice or something like that. I don't remember her name. But she had somebody else, a partner or something like that. But here's the thing. Witch, Cara really did the best job talking about the whole word witch and, how it's used and things. So as you know, I'm a hereditary witch. I use the term witch though because I claimed it. So my family doesn't call themselves witches or per se, that's not the word that they use. However, the word, that is what we are. So when I got a little bit older and I started learning about more things, researching more things, I'm like, oh yeah, duh, this is what we do. This is who we are. We're pagan. That's why I claim the word witch. Whereas I feel like witch is something that, it really depends on the connotation. Some people use it as a downright insult, like, oh, she's such a witch, right? And then not to mention that, but it still is illegal in certain places in the world right now, and people are being killed for it. There's so many things with the word witch. So as far as historically, we're talking about folk magic users. We're talking about first religion. We're talking about ancient pagans. If we're talking about that, I don't really think you're ever going to have a first recorded witch, just because it is sort of who everybody was. It was just sort of the early pre-Christian religion. The first recorded witch, I guess, in your mythology would be different. And, I think we've talked about a couple of the different ones, and all the hosts, Eric and Cara, everybody did a great job on it. They showed the book, which, boxes. I own it too. But so here's the thing. For me, is there mythology as to the first witch, so to speak, or the first of my family's line? Yeah, there is. Can I talk about it? No. Nope, I can't. So, but if you've watched me for any period of time, you probably knew that. So basically, that's pretty much all there is. I highly recommend reading Aradia. It's a really good read. The Gospel of the Witches. I really love it. I feel like there's so much that can be gained from it. I thought it was beautiful. So, but I also love reading different mythologies, and I love incorporating different things into my path and everything. I have a fond place in my heart for Stregheria. I took Italian in college. I wear a cimaruta. So, I think that's definitely something that I have a soft spot for. As I've gotten older. So, I think you got to find your own thing. If Regana's what you want to go for it. She sounds interesting. I definitely will probably look her up a little bit more. She sounds really cool. But that's it. That's really all that I can say about this. There really isn't much else that I have found, at least preliminarily. As you can see, there's a lot going on. Desperately trying to get my life in order and unpacked and whatnot. Actually had to drive from, our cars arrived in LA last week, and we had just literally drive something like over 1,000 miles. It was like 17 hours from LA to Portland. Oh my gosh, my butt fell asleep so hard. So it was definitely a trek. So just sort of recovering from that. But yeah, so I think that's it for today. Look forward to seeing what we got in store for next week. All right. As always, guys, blessed be and aloha. Bye for now.